Welcome in, everybody. We're going into a happy new year. How was your holiday? Let's just face it. We have had an ice storm, and some of us are still without water. 3 days. Yes. Woohoo. But you know what? It's 50-degree temperatures today for an extended period of time. So I hope everybody thaws out without too much damage. Everybody I've talked to, except for one or two people, have had burst pipes in some sort, including me. And let me tell you, I'm glad that we're virtual and we're not in the same each other's company right now. I'm wearing my hoodie, and it is what it is. How many of you guys have been without power or water sometime during this holiday? I know I've seen, excuse me, I've seen pictures with Corinne, and oh my goodness, Corinne has been in Buffalo. God bless the people in Buffalo. They are a stalwart group. Whew. Oh, Faithy is with me. My little sister, you still look beautiful. Thank you. Only a sister can say that, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, I had my alcohol wipes. My little sister turned me on to alcohol wipes. So if you need to clean up, you can do a lot with wipes. So let me tell you. Good morning to Perry, who is with us. And I don't even have any right to complain, Perry. You are in good morning. We had a lot of snow you could melt for water. Well, trust me, I melted some snow for water, and my well kept, when it thawed yesterday, I was able to fill up a bunch of jugs because the well works and for the livestock. So I was out using all my livestock buckets for water, watching and reading, getting my respiratory junk looked at this morning. Oh, bless your heart, Elizabeth. I saw where you were not well for the holiday. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope that you get well quickly and that you heal well. There are all sorts of things. And I know that a lot of you need a giggle today. And so we're going to talk a little bit about a pet rooster. It's not my pet rooster. I have a mean rooster, but I will tell you the daily giggle. Let's just say we're going to be in a better mood after we see this little story about a rescue rooster.
If we're sleeping, he'll crow. But he'll let us stay in bed if we want to stay in bed a couple extra minutes. Bert doesn't like the TV after a certain time, so he gets cranky if I don't give him a pillow to bury in or tuck him in his blanket. He knows the difference between my truck and a stranger's truck. When my truck pulls in, he'll berserk. He's our patrol dog. He's so smart. He loves my iPad. I'll put the cat games where the things scurry across the screen. He'll actually go after them and peck them. He just goes crazy pecking it and checking it out. Someone reached out to me on Instagram, actually, about their mother's chicken that had no legs. His actual first original name was Stumpy. Frostbite is extremely common in chickens. I said, yeah, bring him down. We'll see what we can do with him. And he was in such bad shape, it broke my heart. I've never seen anything like it. So we took him out in the front yard, and I put him out in the grass. And he immediately cuddled up next to me and looked at me, and he was like, we're going to do this. I'm going to be all right. I will bring Garth anywhere that he will let me. Not leaving home. He follows me around. That's when it really clicked for me that there's so much more than we give them credit for. He has the most expressive eyes ever. You can tell 100% what he's feeling by the look in his eyes. He loves being scratched. He loves being loved. Like, who wouldn't love being held and loved so deeply and pet to sleep? Like, who wouldn't love that? He will sit on the rug. He will choose the blanket. So it's not me saying, be my pet, be inside, be unhappy. They truly love it. They deserve love, they deserve attention. Bart, a little 2.5-pound animal, has changed my life.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
I like to tell people about the dodo. If you're an animal person, you know about the dodo. The dodo collects stories about interesting animals, and it is a wonderful YouTube channel. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, the dodo, D-O-D-O. And it's just such a neat little show. Well, if you if you want to know some of the very cool things going around in our area, you just need to follow some of the really great chambers of commerce. We talk very often to Terry Williams Nutter at the Donaldson Hermitage Chamber, and the White House Chamber is part of our daily. And of course, the Portland Area Chamber of Commerce, wonderful as well. But let's go to the Thrive and the 37075. It is wonderful. And what Kathleen is doing in Hendersonville is incredible. Let's take a look at one shop spotlight.
I'm Kathleen Hawkins with the Hendersonville Area Chamber of Commerce, and today we're celebrating Thrive 37075 Shop Local for the 12 days of Christmas. I'm at Ginger Bean at the streets of Indian Lakes. It's an amazing children's boutique, and I can't wait to show you what's inside. As you can see, this boutique has so many amazing things. It was really hard for me to choose, but it was a toss-up between the sleep bag. How cuddly does this look? But this is my president's pick of the day. The president's pick of the day is this little onesie, but look, it's magnetic. So there's no pinching, there's no pressing, there's no zipping. It's so comfortable, so cute. This is my president's pick of the day. Ginger Bean Boutique. Stop by and shop now.
I love finding all these local places, and we have so many wonderful ones. No matter what burg you're in, shop local and keep our local businesses alive. Well, there are only a few more days left to take advantage of the giving machines, and they're wonderful. We're going to hear more about them on the show. We're going to hear another about a handy, important app that is life-saving and helpful from the Jason Foundation. But right now, we're going to talk to Kim Van Atta. She is with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, and get us all ready for a safe way to travel this holiday. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I still don't have water. Thank you for giving me a day of grace. And I said, well, we're still working on pipes, but you know what? I just said I'm going to show up, and we're going to talk about how to stay safe, because New Year's, I've heard it called the amateur's holiday, because people who don't normally get out and about will go out and party and overindulge and don't even realize. And I don't know. I don't even know why we even need to tell people don't drink and drive. I don't even know why we still need to. Do you know?
I don't know if it's that they're so happy to be celebrating and they start the drinking and they don't have a plan before they begin drinking, and then
Uh-huh.
they feel like it's too late after they've already. That's the big thing, I think. Before you even go out, you need to have a plan. You need to say, okay, I'm going to be drinking, so I have to have a sober driver,
Mhm.
and that person needs to remain sober. So someone needs to be paying attention to that person as well. So that's really important.
Yeah.
But even if you're at home at a party, offer non-alcoholic options. Not everybody drinks. Not everybody has to drink.
I'm so glad you said that, Kim, because I grew up in a family that we never had alcohol at any function. I mean, people go, "Are you going to have alcohol at your wedding?" I'm going, "We had punch, and it was not
Right.
spiked. It was, so that's what the way I grew up. There are many, many people who don't drink or imbibe during any season. So, and having people respected that way, I think is really important.
I mean, I don't have to have an alcoholic beverage to have fun. I can have fun without it. But that's just me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, absolutely, absolutely. Can we talk a little bit about the cost of a DUI? Because people always complain. They go, "My gosh, it'll take $60 to get home with a cab to my house." Um, let's just talk about if you do decide to save money and drive yourself home after drinking.
Honestly, I don't know that you can put a financial cost on it,
Mhm.
because I don't know if you can put the cost on the price of a life. So
Amen.
that life is going to, and it may not be your life. So you may have to live with taking someone else's, which is also something you're going to have to take on yourself for the rest of your life. But people don't think about it. Right now, our Booze It and Lose It campaign is going on. And that Booze It and Lose It means you can lose your license, which is the least of your problems, your freedom, which will put you in jail, or again, like I said, your life or someone else's life. So, I mean, it's not even a gray area here. This is black and white. Don't do it. It's the bottom
Just
line.
just don't do it. And you guys had a really amazing the press conference campaign that you did, and that commercial. And I don't really like to use it. Really was a message to people, and it
Right.
was this young kid who drove under the influence and affected so many people, and didn't even realize it. And so young, it changes your life for the rest of your life.
That's right. And they don't. And actually, we go and speak at the TSSOA tournament, which is the high school state tournaments. So we're trying to reach the kids when they begin driving, because, like you said, they're not mature enough yet. And we're giving them basically a weapon and saying, here are the keys, go ahead. So they're on the road driving inexperienced. And then you have other people on the road, maybe impaired. So that's just a recipe for disaster in and of itself. So we are trying to reach all of the demographics, but again, like you said, there are going to be people that don't listen, and there are so many options. I mean, if you don't have a sober driver, you can call a ride share, and like you said, it costs a little bit of money, but a lot less money than someone's life.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I wanted to ask about how would someone go about finding a sober ride if you're out on New Year's Eve? Can you just do? Is there a number, or is there a quick a way that you can Google a sober ride New Year's Eve, Nashville?
Well, that the ride share is what I would go with. I don't want to. I mean, we have Uber, you have Lyft, and I can promise you there are going to be plenty of law enforcement officers out on the streets on New Year's to for people to remain safe. And I promise also that they would want you to come and ask them to get a sober ride. They're
Oh,
not going
good.
to give you a citation for asking them for a sober ride. They're going to appreciate it, and they will help you get home.
Amen and hallelujah. That's just wonderful. Well, I just appreciate what you guys do all year to keep us safe, to remind us things like being courteous, the move over law, the buckling up, because I cannot tell you the number of people who have a life saved because they just did the simple thing of I'm going to buckle up.
Right. And that takes 2 seconds. And also the cars today, I mean, you're going to have to listen to an alarm go off for a very long time. So just for sanity, just buckle the seatbelt.
Yeah.
And that is such a simple way to save your life. So simple.
That's so wonderful. Well, I just appreciate all that you've done and all that you continue to do each year. Are there any new things coming up for the new year that we have to look forward to from your office about highways and highway safety?
Unfortunately, we'll try to deliver the message in a different way, but until we are lower, our fatalities have dropped since last year. Pedestrian fatalities are rising. So I'm working on that as the pedestrian safety coordinator for the office. So that is an issue. And we mentioned the impairment. Impaired pedestrians is also another issue. And with all the things that are going on in Nashville this weekend, there are going to be many people walking. So if you have impaired pedestrians and impaired motorists, that's another issue. So the motorists really need to be on the lookout for pedestrians when they're behind the wheel.
I'm so glad that you said that, because that's something that we don't say enough, is that you might not be drinking at all, but an impaired pedestrian can fall out in front of your car. If you're driving downtown at all this weekend, I know that Miss Cheap did a wonderful story about the wonderful night of performances and music and fireworks and everything that's going to go on for New Year's Eve. Our Nashville's New Year's Eve is wonderful, and it's free to everybody. But with that comes crowds, the streets get full. And so I just want everybody to be on their best eagle eye on a swivel, as they say in the military.
Exactly.
Because there's so many people that are out and about. It's really difficult to drive and take care of all that.
Yeah. Well, we want everybody to have so much fun. And if you drink, that's fine. We're not for prohibition. We're for responsible drinking. That's what we're for. We want to keep everybody safe.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you, Kim, and thank you so much for the Day of Grace yesterday. And and
I hope you get water soon.
So do I. I said I've been a pioneer woman too long. This 3 days of no water has not been fun. Hey, you have a great rest of your week and have a wonderful holiday, and best in the new year.
Thank you. You too.
All right. You take care. Well, my friend Tom Wopat stopped by and was part of our show this year, and he made our list of the best of 20. Here, I'm just gonna play a little something, because Tom Wopat is one of my dearest friends. I just adore him. I never get to see him nearly enough, but he just did not too long ago a very cool show called County Line, and I'm gonna just talk like I talk to everybody. This is Tom Wopat being a badass.
People been disappearing from around here.
We got a whole new breed of trouble.
Down on your knees and put your hands in the air. Clint, you remember that place in Saigon that we got thrown out of?
That was Fredo's.
Fredo. Shut up!
Your county voted you out for a reason. Remember that.
How you doing, Dad?
I stay busy.
Got anything to do with those knuckles?
Cut myself shaving.
Blackmail, corruption, the whole ball of wax. Well, I'm gonna find out what's going on in this county.
That would be unfortunate for everyone you love.
You choosing sides?
There was some trouble in York County last night. Clint's been shot.
You and Clint have carried each other through more wars and mayhem than any other people I know. So I'm asking you to carry him through this.
Got no badge. Got no authority.
What do you want, Alden?
I want that dog who shot my buddy.
Then do it.
You really going up there all by yourself? Well, Clint always had backup.
Yeah, well, I always had Clint. Clint Thorne's my best friend. Somebody took a pot shot at him.
You're looking for trouble.
I wouldn't be surprised by it.
Most men enjoy their retirement.
Most men get to choose when to retire.
Don't go turning over stones you can't put back.
Well, you know me. My favorite hat.
We will crack the case.
We're dealing with an entire organization.
Well, if this is what the job is now, you can have it.
Who did it? back to the party, pal. All right, boys.
How hard is it to buy a new cell phone?
How hard is it to leave me alone?
I love it. I love it. Man, I'm just, you're not being zany, Tom, in this. You are
No, and actually, since that one, I did 2 more movies, and I let my hair go your color. I thought it was so attractive on you that I figured I'd go with it.
See, people always tell me, they said, why don't you color your hair? And I'm going, you have a problem with what God's doing? I said, this is easy. This is my
beautiful.
Life. Thank you. Thank you. And as you do too. Tell me, you're coming into town. Look at you. You're kicking butt. And you are coming into town. You're going to be at Cooter's Place in Nashville Saturday and Sunday. What happens at Cooter's Place whenever you come to town? What they do is
actually they start lining up usually about 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I show up about 11, having gotten over to the Waffle House for breakfast, and I sign autographs. We take pictures. We take pictures with the car that we developed there at Cooter's, so they get a nice 8x10, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, the fans for Dukes of Hazzard are unlike any other fans in the world. And we've been, it's become a cultural kind of a pop icon, and it's bizarre, but, I enjoy it, and the folks seem to enjoy it. And I keep making records for them and all kinds of stuff, and movies like this one.
Well, here's the crazy thing is too, and you did the theme song. They came back and asked you for County Line to come back and do the theme song, and you created a theme song for them.
Well, they didn't actually ask me originally. It says in the 3rd script, there's 3 installments.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, we actually have video for now. I got a box of videos of DVRs and DVDs. And so for the second one, it's called County Line All In, and I deal with a woman who has replaced the guy in the next county over. That's interesting. And then for the third one, they showed in the script that I'm playing guitar at the end of the episode. And so I said, well, I should write something for it. And they're like, yeah, I suppose. I said, no, really, I can.
Changing the man right here.
Yeah, well, they said, look at the last episode of Justified. Have you watched Justified?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Smoking. And
oh my God, I love that show.
Who's the moonshiner at the end. And they take a shot, each of them, and he thinks he's poisoned himself, but she has committed suicide. She poisoned herself. Oh. It's just, all the hair on my body stands up. And at that point, the song starts, and I thought, I know those chords. I can do that. So I wrote a song, and actually it's going to be on the new record on A Simple Man that's going to come out later this year. But it's called County Line, and I'm pretty proud of it. It's a pretty good tune.
I got a little clip of you singing it.
Oh, did you get something from Country Rebel?
No, I got it from the last time you were you did a little promo for Cooter's Place.
Oh, okay.
You were going to be in Pigeon Forge and in the very room where you're sitting now. So I don't have to play it, but I want to talk to you for a while. I'm so glad to have you here live. But
it's good to be here.
So is there any admission charge to coming on Saturday and Sunday?
No, you just show up at Cooter's. And by the way, the Cooter's in Nashville has the best museum of all 3 stores. They've got some amazing things in there. They have a whole section that's a tribute to Waylon, which is just awesome. And I
saw a clip of you online, your reaction to Waylon and to the loss of Waylon. I loved him so much. And
he's such a good guy.
And that kind of talent. And he was, even though you really only saw his hands in that guitar and heard his voice, he was a big part of the Dukes of Hazzard, wasn't he?
Oh, sure. And then for a while, people were asking him to play the theme song on tour, and he was like a little ticked off that they didn't want to hear his other songs. and they were requesting that song. But then he went in the studio and recorded a version. I think you can make the case it's the last million-selling country single. And there he wrote the verse. He wrote another verse. My mama keeps asking me why she sees my hands and not my face on TV. And so he made reference to it. But no, we were good friends. I had him and his lovely bride over to the house for barbecue. I barbecued ribs for him back in Hollywood. And no, he was an interesting guy. And you can make the case that Waylon basically was kind of an introvert, but in an extremely extroverted business. And
I get that.
Yeah, I think that probably contributed to his problems with substance abuse, which I'm no stranger to either. But
hey, we talk about it a lot on this show. I mean, you couldn't be in New York in the 80s and not have been touched by it.
That was part of the social scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun, but that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's that part. We do talk a lot about that on this show, and it is what it is, and that's why we got a lot of. And the recovery community in Nashville is really strong here because
that's great. Yeah,
we survived. We survived the 80s here,
stuff and come out the other end of it is something to say. And I mean, you got to make the case that our experience of that helped make us what we are. And, I'm not ashamed. I mean, my kids are all hip to what I did and what I didn't do, and I'm cool with that. What's fun is being able to still connect with the fans.
Yeah.
And these things like at Cooters this weekend, we'll get kids in there that are 4 and 5 and 10 years old. And
that's what if you look online, you can see these audiences. I mean, they're like little kids to old people.
Yeah.
And
we're on our 4th generation, at least.
How do you explain the love of the people, and they just tie in, and it's as timeless as it always was?
To me, my reference to it is the Andy Griffith Show, where you had a set bunch of characters. There's no real super bad guy. I mean, Boss was trying to do what Boss was trying to do, and Roscoe was in cahoots with him. But when they got in trouble, we took care of them. And, there's no cussing, there's no blood, there's no sex. And it's a family show. It's a family show with family situations that are humorous. And, of course, in our case, we had the orange car, which was the ace in the hole.
It is. It's the orange car. So who is going to be there, and what time does it start and what time does it end? Saturday and Sunday this weekend.
Generally runs from like 11 to 4 or so. And it's going to be me. And I'm not sure if any of the other cast members are going to be there, but it's a good time.
It is a good time. And that interview in its entirety, we're going to put it on our Main Street Today YouTube channel, and hope that you go by there and subscribe and be a part of what we do every day. The Nashville Zoolumination continues, and it goes through New Year's Eve. Now that's a great place to spend New Year's, is go see Zoolumination. And Giving Machines until January 1st. They are at Cool Springs, and hope that you will go by and give. It's been a tough winter. Corinne just checked in. They still have a driving ban in Buffalo. Lee checked in with us, and you guys are part of our show every day. If you want to know, Tom's and Perry, yes, that first installment was started 5 years ago, but every year he's done new installments of that show, Tom Wopat, on the INSP channel. And his new record is out. It's called Simple Man. Just came out for the holiday season, and it is fantastic. You guys be safe and be kind to each other, and most of all, remember, you are loved.
We are home, we are family, we are things to do and places to see. Mom and pops, local grown, small business Saturdays. We are Main Street, Main Street, Main Street. We are your Main Street today.